I'll pop the popcorn.
Bring the wine.
It's about to happen.
In his perfect time.
Our very own goal
is to intoxicate you.
It's the work week wind down.
PhD.
And pearls of wisdom. You ready?
Ready.
Let's go. Yes.
Got it.
Sis.
It's been a long time coming.
A long time coming. And I know change gon' come. Okay, so that's just who we are authentically. One of us might bust out in a song. It's just the way it is.
Or a line from a movie.
Or a line from a movie.
We just gonna make it do what it do.
We make it do what it do. Because you took the words out my mouth.
So we didn't even complete sentences. We just robbing words. Okay, never mind. Here we go.
And period.
And period.
So we got to tell our origin story. We got to talk about how all of this came into being.
Okay. So my version, your version?
Your version, then my version.
Okay.
Because I really want to hear your version. I'm always telling my version. Tell your version. What happened? What happened?
What happened was my arm got twisted to take this job. A job that this lady was stalking me about, right? Yeah, her
version. Then I'll tell my version.
So what happened was I was doing my whole entrepreneurship endeavors, and my sister-in-law said, "Hey, I think you need to apply for this job. It's like a heavy finance background. I think it fits you. I feel like we need you here." I said, "What?" Okay, no. I said, "Okay." Then, okay, so long and the short of it is, I interviewed for the job, and this lady here was just like big on the camera. So let me just say this. It was post-COVID, and I hadn't retreated from my COVID endeavors. I was still like working from home, etc. So anyway, interviewed, 4-panel interview. My sis was one of the panelists, and it was good, like encouraging questions. Anyway, I get into this role. Oh, yeah, they hired me. Me, right? Yeah, they hired me. I want to say this. I knew there was a connection. Because not only is my sis like my sis, I didn't know at the time that she was a PK, and she PK'd me, okay?
I did what? Okay. All right.
Like, I don't know if it was like, because see, you're a PK, which is like pastor's kid. Pastor's kid. But okay, all right.
But go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let your story, then my story. Go ahead.
Right, like, because here, like, when I say she PK'd me, because, she pearls of wisdom, right? Her name is Pearl.
Government.
I'm just saying, right? Like, because, and I call her.
She really telling all the government, like, all the business.
Because, like, sometimes you're going to hear me say, and you're like, where did that come from? I already told you. Okay, so here you go. Right? Miss was in the office, in my office, and we were talking. And I remember prior to that, like in my entrepreneurial endeavors, I'm in my home office and I'm writing notes about this workshop I'm about to do. And it's related to teen moms. And I know the people that I'm trying to get involved to be part of this project that I'm working on. When I say God, Lord. Okay. Was I in beat? Oh, I think I'm lying. Was I?
I was going to say in tune. That might be another story, but go ahead. It's okay, because make a joyful noise. All right? All right, go ahead. Oh, it was joy.
It was joy. So let me just say this, and I'll make this, I'm going to wrap it up at this point. She PK'd me. She told me my full vision on the other side of my death. And what had happened was, this was what, 3 days in?
I think it was 3 days in.
I turned around in my chair and bawled and didn't turn back around like, I don't even know how you knew that.
To God be the glory.
And then I professionalized myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, so what we talking about now? What did you need me to do? Mm-hmm. So yeah, she PK'd me, and I think it just has been a connection ever since then.
Literally. Yeah. Okay, so it's my turn.
It's your turn, and I will not interrupt.
It is okay if you do, because that's just what we do.
Okay, I was just...
You gonna eat your popcorn? So the popcorn and wine story, right? There is an origin about this popcorn and wine that she grabs her popcorn. So in all that she shared, her version of events, So how I remember it is during her training, right? So over the first few days of me training her, onboarding, getting to learn the system, the district, we're both in education, so getting to learn everything. Um, there was something about her spirit that I was just drawn to. So right off the bat, maybe around about day 3, and I don't
Hate me.
around about when I PK'd her, that's the term she coined. Um, right about that time, uh, I try to keep my ears open in all of my capacities and all of the things I do. I try as best I can to keep my ears open, my heart ready to receive whatever it is God has to deposit in me, whether it's for me or for the community that I'm serving. And so, we're talking and it's just so organic. We just clicked. There's some people in this life that you're going to meet that you just click with, and I'm not that type of woman that I am very open to just accept everybody in my circle, much less my inner circle.
Sound like no friends.
I really don't. That's what we have. Another thing we have in common: no new friends. Who said that? Drake. Drake said no new friends. Yeah. So that it is what it is. So it pretty much takes a lot for me to really warm up to people. And instantly there was just something about her. Even when we interviewed her, just her being authentically her really resonated with my spirit.
Let me interrupt just
go
one
ahead.
second.
What?
So me being authentically me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a boss.
Then
I'm
period.
gonna just say that.
Mm-hmm.
So while these 4 women thought that they were about to interview me, oh, if y'all wanted me in you all space, I needed to know that I was a perfect fit too. And guess what the assistant superintendent said to me?
What is that? I mean, I
Oh,
was dead, but go ahead, tell the people.
she said, "Oh, I asked a question. I don't know, whatever was at the top of my head at that point." And I was like, I can't remember the question. But either way, she said, "Oh, I like how you think you're about to interview us."
She did say that. I remember her saying.
I was like, well, I want to make sure I'm a good fit, but I need you all to be a fit for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was some boss mess. And I got in trouble for being the boss after I was hired because, like, I wasn't the boss of her. I was just the boss of me. Okay, never mind. Back to your version of the story.
And so
Yeah, her version.
I'm put my popcorn back down. And so we're talking. The conversation evolves into spiritual talk, and it's I knew instantly she was a woman of God, a child of God. I knew it automatically. But as we're talking and we're sharing, sometimes the conversations go deep. And we're at work. Hello?
Right.
We're at work. We're on the clock. And so
8:30 to 4:30.
right.
Okay.
And so I would always remember one of my favorite shows was Scandal. And
Olivia Pope.
I love Kerry Washington's character, Olivia Pope. She was the fixer. And she would always, occasionally they would show her at the end of the work day. Maybe it was a trying day. It was a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces. She was fixing a lot of things. She would find herself at the end of the day sitting on the couch watching TV, primarily the news, eating her popcorn and sipping her wine. And so I there was one of the conversations we had where we were getting ready to go real deep. And I was like, oh, no. That's a popcorn and wine type of conversation. We're going to have to gather together as sisters. And by the way, I don't typically open up very quickly to people, but there's something about your spirit that my spirit is drawn to. There's a kindred spirit here that we are drawn to one another as sisters. There's some things that you are going to deposit in me and vice versa. And long after I'm gone from this place, AKA the department, I said that.
She said that.
Because I knew there was an exit for me.
Away.
There was an exit strategy, but my mind just pivoted to a whole deep conversation about exit strategy. So I'm gonna pin it there.
Hold on. While she pivot, I'm about to jump in.
Jump in.
Let me just say, I think she was trying to train me, but not the road that I actually like.
But wait, because that's coming later. That's coming later. I'm gonna finish the origin story because she fast forwarding. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I was preparing myself for the exit strategy, right?
You know, I'm listening.
And I knew at that moment that we were gonna have a connection. And I said, sis, and I don't really generally say sis right off the bat. We're coworkers. I'm in the midst of training her and for her role. And I said, sis, it's time for us to kind of put a pause in it, and we'll move forward. Maybe on the weekend. I said, I live in farmland. You can come to the farm. We can come have some popcorn and wine and chill and really kind of debrief about our work day, our lives, and all of that. And so in that time, we were getting to know each other, building rapport, right?
Correct.
And so the origin story of the popcorn and wine really was for us to kind of let our hair down. You know, it's hard to find people that you can genuinely connect with and you can really be authentically you. We silly, you know, sing, pop out in a song in a minute, talk about our family. She's a girl mom. I'm a girl mom. Talk about our families. We're both married for long periods of time. Talk about our family, our lives, our dreams, our goals. And there be nothing that I feel or have ever felt in my spirit like if I tell her this, she's going to try and steal it. Because I've had those experiences. But we'll get to that part later on in our podcast today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. When we get to the non-negotiables. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Right. Because I've had some experiences. Let me just say that. And I'll share it, but not right now. So that's my version of the origin story of the popcorn and wine. How did we get here?
How did we get here?
Who am I?
She Marshy.
And who are you?
Okay, you know what?
She Malika.
It depends on the day. You know what? That's true. I'm Malika.
Not it depends on the day, but go ahead.
It does, right? Because sometimes I'm like Malika Hudson David, right?
Period.
I'm Mrs. David.
Period.
Right? Or I'm just me, right? And high definition. Or I'm made, right? I'm a made woman, okay? My mama, she started me off with May, and my husband added the D. I'm made, all right?
And period.
But yeah, Malika E. Hudson David. I was born Malika E. Hudson. My husband came along and made me his wife, and now I'm a David. So yeah, Malika E. Hudson David. But it's me, HD, and high definition, meaning at this point in my life, you're about to get it all. The good, the bad, the shenanigans, the truth, the intentionality, the everything, right? Because at this stage in my life, like, who got time for games?
Right.
Who got time to be serious when the world is just what it is? Like, why do I have to care about all of that when it's not? It does affect my family, but like my immediate situation with my family, like I'm not letting anything burden me,
right,
stress me out. I just want to be me. I just want to be me. Hello, you want to be you? You want to be you in high definition? Say it. Me, HD. It's me, but it's you too. Okay.
I love this woman of God right here. Shenanigans. All for the shenanigans. I'm here for it. I love this woman of God right here because like I said, there's not many people that I've found that I can be authentically me with and around. You know, we live in a time and an era where everything is fluff. People wear so many masks.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's hard. Even sometimes me, you know, I'm going to be straight up.
No.
Even sometimes you do.
Okay, no.
Depending on the circumstance.
No.
No.
No. You
Talk
know what?
about it.
It's the reframing of the words. It's the reframing of the mindset, right? We have many facets of who we are. It's not necessarily us wearing a mask. Now, society would put it as code switching, right? Because at work, you have to be this person. At home, you have to be this person.
True.
Sometimes you need to cover up your emotions of what's going on so that you could function in that corporate world, in that educational world outside. But to be fair, all of those different things is not this or that, as my pastor would say. We're this and that.
Absolutely.
Right? So we're many facets of ourselves. So again, it depends on the day. as the situation, circumstance, or experience that brings out the facet of us that we're going to be
that
at
we're
that point.
presenting in that moment.
At that point, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm still going to add to that because I agree 1,000% with that. But there are times where we do put on masks if we are truly authentically honest with ourselves. There are times, and I'm generally speaking, and it may not be her story, but I'm saying for me, sometimes I have to put on a mask. I didn't even get to who I am at this point. But sometimes I have to put on a mask because of the many facets, the many roles that I the many circles that I'm a part of or have to be a part of.
I feel it.
In
See where you're going
where
with
you
this.
see where I'm going.
Yeah,
So
'cause it's
sometimes I don't have a choice
Yes,
but to,
that is
because
true.
the presenting of self
Yep.
that others have to, depending on the circle, that have to see, I can't be, bust out in a song, you know.
She can't be her HD right now, but okay, go ahead.
I can't be me HD in those moments, but in this moment, I'm fully, what you see is what you're gonna get. Okay, why? Because this is a community that we're building together. So I might bust out in a song, and so might she. That's why we are knit together. The apostle, I'll get there. So who am I? Who am I? Who am I?
Who are you, sis?
Me at the very core, my very essence is someone who loves hard. I love hard. I had to learn how to love myself first. Let me start there. There's a lot to unpack with that. But I had to learn how to love myself first before I learned how to love the people that God would have me to connect with. And so I love hard. I am a very loyal person. Sis, if somebody not rocking with you, I'm not rocking with them. That's just who I am.
That's loyalty. That is loyalty.
Facts.
Right. So I would say yes, right? Because of who we are, right? And I get that. In the workplace though, different facet.
Different facet.
Right?
We talked about those facets, right?
We talked about the facets, right? Because just because they don't mess with you, that don't necessarily mean I cannot mess with them, right? I got a job to do.
You have a job to do.
So I can't.
And I think we all bring that to the same table. And that's the realm of professionalism, right?
All right.
So in our personal lives, right? My circle, my inner circle is very important to me. Why? Because it took me a very long time to build that inner circle.
Yeah.
You sometimes you got to weed out the stuff, the fluff,
Girl.
the people. Sometimes people are connected to you only for the mere purpose of leeching. We call them leeching spirits. There are people that have been connected to me to leech off of me. I had a former friend tell me, "You're everything that I need." Whoa. I haven't even finished talking about who I am because I'm just flowing. Right? Right. And it was just like, whoa, red flag.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, people who were like family, some close family members of mine, because this person would be in my inner circle often. And close family members of mine would be like, red flag. But I didn't see. I didn't see it at the time. Because at the very core of me, I want to give people a fair opportunity.
Yeah.
That's just who I am, regardless of what other people say about them.
Because
how other people
that could be their
perceive them.
issue with them.
Right. That's their issue with them. That's not mine. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. However, the people that were closest to me, family, very close family members,
They saw it.
They saw the red flags. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Or I chose not to see it. Because I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Because of the way you love hard.
Because I love hard.
And you probably also saw that, yes, you did have a positive impact in and on their lives. And, okay, so here I go, right? When you're called to do something or be something, you can't ignore it. You have to walk in it.
Facts.
And I think that's what you were doing in that instant.
Right.
Which it didn't matter what people said.
Right.
Because you had to be
right.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard for
it was
me.
what you were doing or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that season.
Right.
That was your assignment.
That was my assignment. And sometimes it's hard for me to listen to the noise, because I really want to genuinely have my ear to God's voice. All
Yeah.
right. Because maybe there's some things that God wants me to deposit in them. And so, I love that you mentioned seasons, because, for me, I feel like everybody, if God bring them into my life, it's supposed to be for a lifetime. That's how I thought
At that point
at that point in time.
in that season.
In that season. And that's why I said I'm glad you
Yeah.
mentioned
Okay.
seasons, because one thing about seasons, they do change. And not even though the seasons, fall, winter, spring, and summer, right? They have the same name, but those seasons may have different experiences,
For sure.
right? And so, for me, just who I am, because I love hard and I'm a loyal person. Um, I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I remember hearing this saying, I'll trust you until I can't anymore. And for me, and I'm thinking about former friendships, because I'm talking about the inner circle and,
Yep.
and how God knitted us together, right? Um, for me, I didn't want to look at it like, I'll trust you till I can't anymore. I felt like, I'm going to have grace for you. I'm going to have space for grace for you, so that even if you let me down, I still have the capacity to continue to allow you to be in my inner court, if you will, the
Got you.
inner circle.
Yep.
So who I am, because I love hard, because I'm a very loyal person. I have those expectations of the people in my court, and it doesn't always pan out that way.
Got you.
And so then I'm left with disappointment. And when I'm disappointed and I'm hurt, if I don't see the reflection of me and other people, sometimes we expect people to show up the way we show up.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. My daughter,
What she said?
she said, Mommy, you can't expect them to be you. I said, what?
Mm-hmm.
She said, no. How you show up for them,
Mm-hmm.
you can't expect that same show up, the way you show up,
Right.
how hard you show up.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got it.
Right.
That's why they are able to grab that from you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I started playing for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like, again, I'm loyal. I love hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm authentic. Who I am when you see me, when you meet me, that's going to be who I am.
That's it.
Like, at the end of the day, like, we don't have time for fake.
Right.
I can't do fake.
Right.
What's that? Right. I don't even know it. Right. So I pulled myself back and I won't let anyone in.
Right.
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 So it was just interesting. I remember.
You talk about not letting people in, so those walls be built, right?
No, for sure.
Right. Right.
Right. Like, nothing is going to permeate through, because what you're going to get is the surface level me,
Mm-hmm.
the facet of me that needs to be there at that point in time for that specific reason.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When I say she PK'd me, like,
Keep saying that, yo.
she did.
Okay,
Like,
go ahead.
I just, like, it was something that I could, like, I went home and wrote about it in my journal. Let me just say that. Like,
Lord, I done made the journal.
she made that journal, because I was
Lord.
like, look, like, God, like, how could this be? Like, how you just, like, already thought. So me and God had some conversations before I even took this job.
Mm-hmm.
I had stuff planned out. But the way it happened, the way my spirit felt when she did what she did to me.
I'm innocent, y'all. Blame it on the Lord.
Blame it on the rain, because he called it.
Milli Vanilli. We got in there.
Okay, so here rewind. No, okay. So, but the way I felt when she when she broke through the shell that I had up, and it only took 3 days, I knew that it was something genuine. I knew that I could be my authentic self. I knew that I didn't have to hold back.
Mm-hmm.
And you learned that I wasn't holding back.
She wasn't. Let me tell you something. She don't hold back at all. Okay? What you see is what you get. And that's why I rock with her. This is why I know we were assigned together. God was jointly knitting us together in that time. Because like I said, I promise you, it's another girlfriend of mine. We're good friends to this day. I met her about 5 years ago, and she wanted to befriend me and things like that. But it took me a minute. And I told her, I said, listen, let me share with you. Because of I didn't finish like who I am and the capacities, right? All of the facets of myself, right?
Y'all gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today.
Tomorrow, y'all gonna learn the next episode.
In every episode.
This is gonna be something that's just gonna be weaved in through because we can't stay on script. Yeah,
we can't. The script is the script. We don't have a script, just so you know.
we flowing, but we did have some bullets.
We got some bullets. So we can try and stay on right. So we can try and stay on track, but
as y'all see,
it is. We don't turn to each other, and it is what it is.
It's girl talk.
It's just a girl talk. It's conversation. It's what we do. But I forget thought, girl. Oh, so the friend
5 years ago.
5 years ago, I met her, and she's as sweet as pie. But it took me like a year and a half to really even warm up just a little bit to her, because you talk about these walls, right?
Yeah.
The Bible says that we got to guard our hearts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had found that to be true because I had been burnt so many times by women friends. So many times that to the point where it was just like, okay, God, I'm done. Like, I'm checking out of, like, I'm good. Just me and you, we're going to rock it out. And then you're my family, we good.
Right.
But this particular friend, I said to her one day, I said, she invited me to she asked me to be in her wedding. And I didn't know her at the time like that, for a long period of time.
Nobody but you.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Busting out in the song.
God, I need you.
And I didn't know her for a long period of time. And I thought it was strange that she would ask me to be in her wedding. And I said to her, so the real capacity that I met her was in church,
Okay.
So because I'm a clergy woman, there are boundaries that we as clergy women have to have in place, and so for me, I was like, okay, in my mind, is she trying to befriend me, like to be a real friend? Or is this one of those leeches? Because I've had so many leeches. Like I told you, that one friend said to me, you're my everything. And I was like, whoa, red flag. Like, I can't be your everything. That's Jesus' job. That ain't mine. And I don't want the weight of responsibility to be your everything.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel. I don't want to be the weight of responsibility to be your everything. So,
that's scary.
That is scary. But I'll get into that later. Like, I can't go there right now. So this particular friend, and I said to her, I said, I'm gonna just grab that popcorn. Fell on the table. Mm-hmm. I said to her, so I'm gonna have to respectfully decline being in your wedding. I'm honored that you would think of me in that way. But I don't think we have that kind of relationship that will warrant me to be a part of your big day, And I get it because she ended up getting married. All right, I don't want to get into her story.
Got you. I
don't want to get into her story, but
the
premise, yeah. So I understand why she asked me to be in her wedding, but I didn't think it was my place to be in her wedding. Especially she has a lot of siblings and sisters, particularly, and friends. So I said, I would want to reserve that space for someone else that's very important in your life, and so I'll respectfully decline. So I ended up not being in her wedding. But even some time after that, she was like, I said, we were having a conversation. I said, not for nothing, but it takes me a while to warm up to people. I've been burnt so many times by specifically women friends that I don't know that I have the capacity to open my heart to be ready to receive someone new as a woman friend. And, so I said, I've been side-eyeing you and I've been watching you. Full transparency. The side eye was, heavy on it. Because, you got to try the spirit by the spirit. You got to discern people.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get a real,
reading.
discernment read on her. So I was just like, I got to put this in pause. We're going to slow this train down a little bit. And she said, I know. And I'll wait. Just like that. And I said, okay. So you talk about try the spirit by the spirit. She not only was I trying her, figuring her out, she was also sussing me out, right? And so when she said, I know, I said, okay, I see who she is in the spirit. And she said, I'll wait. And I said, okay, God, I thank you because what you're doing by little bits and pieces, little intervals, you're helping to restore my hope in true kinship with females. Because, you know, women can be catty, and I don't have time for it. Listen, I'm working on degrees, and at the time I was working on one of my master's degrees. I don't have time to be pulled into nobody's drama. Like, I have a purpose-driven mindset, and I don't have time to be, you know, sucked down into somebody's drama.
Yep. No, feel it.
And so, you know, who I am at the very core is I'm going to suss some people out. But this one right here, 3 days. You kept saying that 3 days. And in 3 days, and on the third day, come on.
She paid me.
On the third day, okay?
She sussed me out from the time we interviewed. Probably even after that. Let me just say, I remember filling out my paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just say this.
Okay.
I interviewed on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I went out on a Friday, and my phone just like kept pinging. All of these emails were coming through. These folks didn't even tell me that they were hiring me. They just started sending me funds the time. So because me and God had some things going on, right? We had some stuff going on. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna see how this pan out. Like, oh, okay, they want me. All right, we'll see. Let me just say, the labor relations was calling me. My sister-in-law, who told me to apply for this position, was calling me. And guess who else was calling me?
Who? I just wanted to know, did she accept the job or not?
No, she didn't say, did I accept it? Because they didn't even offer it to me. They just told me to fill out this paperwork so you could get started.
Which meant she got the job.
Communication is everything, okay? Okay?
Okay.
She said, hey, yes, good day, Miss David. Just wondering, this is coming on March from the Eastern School.
She giving all my information. I don't be putting myself out there. I have to bleep this part out. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, bleep.
Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, you know, if you had any questions on the onboarding materials. And I'm like, no, thank you so much for following up. It's a lot. It's like 50 forms.
It was a lot.
Right?
It is.
Plus they needed to make sure like I wasn't like some type of pedophile. Like it was a whole process.
I mean, you working with kids, around kids in the school district.
And to be fair, in my previous role, like you know, case manager, mentor, coach, I was helping teen moms and you know, getting them set up with their babies and stuff. So they wanted to contact my previous employer, blah, blah, blah. But either way, I'm not even gonna hold you. I was slow poking because, you know, I was trying to bargain with God, as my mom said. So yeah, she was calling me trying to figure out if I needed help. My sister-in-law was like, all right, sis, it's been like 2 weeks already. They got furniture in my can get in here. But okay, I'm talking to God. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I don't even remember, but the point
was 3 days. And all of this in 3 days. But before the 3 days, like, oh, okay. I was saying how she was reeling me in. Like she tried to keep that communication. Even though like I was slow rolling, she kept calling and contacting. So yes, I give it to God because if it wasn't for that, and I was being hard-headed. Like I totally was being hard-headed. And he told me like, daughter, if you don't want to be obedient, I mean, if you want what I have for you, you need to be obedient. So you know what I did? I went in that system and just started crunching out all that paperwork.
Okay. Listen, because obedience is better than the sacrifice.
No, for sure. And what my sister told me like 2 months ago when I called her, she said, you know, not being obedient is sin. I had to hang up on her and go do what I was supposed to do. Like, did you just convict me? Okay, fine. Bye now.
Listen.
But yeah, no, and I totally get it. But I think that, you know, I'll fast forward to say that my obedience is another reason why we're together. Right? Because
Thank God.
if I was disobedient, we wouldn't have this, and I'll be still on my entrepreneurial goals. And let me just say, like, I'm very thankful for the time that I did have to like pour into others and just do all of the things that God had for me to do in that season. There's so much more, but I did need to pivot and get back into the workforce just so I can meet this system over here.
Same. And I'm so glad you said yes, that you were obedient, that you said yes, because